suis aujourd'hui à Victoriaville. Ils vantent beaucoup. J'aimerais bien manger une des meilleures poutines au monde, mais en fait, c'est le travail qui m'amène ici. La rencontre avec le grand président de cette grande entreprise qui est devenue Vicwest. Tout a commencé ici, d'où les premières lettres VIC. Et puis, si le tournage se passe bien, ben, j'espère que je vais la mériter, cette poutine. Je suis avec le président lui-même de l'entreprise, M. Paul Lobb. Vous célébrez aussi un anniversaire, parce que ça fait 10 ans cette année que vous êtes à la tête de produits de bâtiment Vicwest. Comment vous vous sentez?
10 years is a good celebration to be part of. It's been a long journey at times, but it's been a very satisfying career with Vicwest to date, and I'm looking forward to building on that as we go forward over the next few years.
Durant ces 10 années, est-ce qu'il y a des moments particulièrement importants?
There's been a number of milestones, certainly. Until 2015, we were acquired by Kingspan, which was a very positive shift for the organization in terms of recapitalizing, reigniting, re-engaging the organization, and it's been a very positive experience for the entire business, not just me.
Toute entreprise est influencée par la personnalité de son président, de son leader. Alors, qu'est-ce qui caractérise Vicwest sous votre leadership?
I think over time, and my experience has always been that leadership is about engaging your people, being with your people, listening to your people. We've got so much legacy and business knowledge and passion within all elements of our business, from manufacturing to design to engineering to sales. You need to lay out a vision, you need to lay out a mission, what those values look like in an organization and those standards. And I think you have to live those. And that's what I try and do. And I'm going to continue that stance because it's all about the people.
Allons plus loin. Vous êtes un judoka de renom, même un sensei. Est-ce que cette pratique de cet art martial colore votre façon de diriger l'entreprise?
Well, that's an interesting question, and no one's really asked me that before. But, you know, judo is the gentle way. And it's about working through things. And there was something called judo economics a long time ago, where you have to understand what your opponent is doing. You have to understand that their motion is how you move things forward, or backwards, or adjust in some cases. And it's no different than how we approach the competition. You have to understand strengths and weaknesses. It's the same with people. I think maybe the sensei has given you some balance to understand that people move in different directions. They have strengths and weaknesses. And it isn't to take advantage of them, it's to leverage them in terms of propelling you forward, propelling the organization forward. It also doesn't hurt to know how to fall down.
Very interesting. Malgré votre agenda de président, directeur général, trouvez-vous encore du temps pour tenter de rester en forme?
I think it's important that you find time to stay fit. It really is about taking care of yourself, physically, but also mentally. You have to stay in shape in both ways in order to, I think, operate effectively in today's world and changing world, and to be able to deal with those stresses and anxieties of the people that are working for you and with you.
Vous trouvez une manière de vous engager socialement dans plusieurs organisations, notamment l'Institut canadien de construction d'acier, une autre association qui regroupe les constructeurs de toitures en acier.
The steel industry is certainly a major component of the construction build-out in Canada, and cold-form products are an important segment within that construction sector. I think it's critical for certainly influential companies, the larger players, as Vicwest is in that segment, to be engaged there, to be setting standards and, again, setting expectations. I got on board with this almost 10 years ago now, and feel that it's critical to ensure that we're moving steel construction in Canada forward. There's a number of other substrates that are competing for the same space we are. You have national building codes that you have to address. You have import products coming in that are deficient in terms of quality. So it's important that we keep quality and standards at the forefront of construction. And I feel that it's best served if I'm there ensuring that voice is there.
Quels sont les défis particuliers auxquels est confrontée l'industrie de l'acier et en particulier le secteur de la toiture d'acier?
At the forefront, and we're all experiencing that, is certainly manpower. It's skilled trades. There's a shortfall in every facet of the steel industry, from manufacture to supply to install. Sustainability is certainly becoming more and more important as companies become more conscientious in terms of the type of buildings they want to build, whether they're LEED buildings or whether they're just socially responsible buildings, sustainable buildings.
Il faut parler des changements climatiques. Il faut parler de la pression du mouvement écologique. Il faut parler, et ces jours-ci, ces semaines-ci, il y a des tempêtes comme jamais, il y a des vents plus violents, plus fréquents, il y a de la grêle. Est-ce que la toiture d'acier, par rapport aux autres compétiteurs, elle est bien positionnée dans ce nouvel environnement?
Well, steel roofing is extremely well positioned for the new environment, and I think what is going to be the permanent environment we're facing for quite some time. You look at the storms, the wind uplift challenges that other products have on the roofs today. We don't see that at all in metal. They're maintenance free. They're fireproof. There's so many facets of what metal will provide in terms of protection to the climate. But there's a whole other argument in terms of what they do for the sustainability of the environment as well.
Le facteur transport est devenu très important, notamment parce que le prix de l'essence est élevé, parce que aussi les flottes de transport se font rares. Comment est-ce que vous vous débrouillez face à cette nouvelle situation?
Freight and transport is right now is a universal problem. It's a whole supply chain issue across America, across Canada, North America in general. One of the key service elements that we provide to our customers, and we've taken this on for a long time, is having our own fleet of trucks. So we're able to manage that, so we don't have that exposure to the supply chain constraints in logistics. Relative to the inflation and fuel and diesel prices and all that, we have to manage that the best we can, and we try and control our costs to the utmost.
Selon vous, est-ce que les gouvernements en font assez pour supporter, pour encourager l'industrie manufacturière au Canada?
I think in general, the government is very much interested in seeing successful manufacturing in Canada. I think the government understands that it's critical to our economy. Relative to construction and the manufacturing sector that we're in, we do see some money coming in terms of infrastructure, a lot of institutional support for growing communities, and that's of benefit to us. But where I think we could see additional benefit is back to the labor shortage across the country, the skilled trades. This is going to be a problem for down the road, and governments need to address this in terms of how they're going to support manufacturers, how they're going to support industry in terms of apprenticeship, in terms of education and development.
Vous venez de joindre justement le mouvement Bien fait ici, initié par notre association et plusieurs autres partenaires. Ça me semble un mariage naturel entre Vicwest et Bien fait ici, puisque le programme vise à promouvoir les produits résidentiels faits dans des usines au Canada et qui satisfont les normes de construction.
Vicwest is we're almost 93 years old this year. We are made in Canada. You know, and our roots are national. They started right here. The first seeds were sown right here in Victoriaville. We take a lot of pride in being Canadian and providing Canadian-made products. You know, we've dealt with our partnership with ArcelorMittal Dofasco today has been long-standing. Part of what is Vicwest is our credibility as a committed supplier. We stand behind our products, and we can do that because they're Canadian-made, and we have trusted partners integrated into our supply chain.
On m'a dit que certains, même plusieurs des 150 employés qui travaillent ici à Victoriaville sont avec l'entreprise depuis des décennies, même peut-être depuis un demi-siècle. Et je pense que la loyauté, c'est une de vos qualités qui vous honore.
I've had the pleasure to celebrate more than 4 50-year anniversaries.
Wow.
All right here, well, 3 right here in Victoriaville, 1 in Ontario, but that speaks to the credibility of the company, that speaks to the culture, that speaks to the commitment to our employees. And that's really the foundation for success. They are what make us better. And we need to celebrate those folks, and we do our very best to do that.
Est-ce que je dois comprendre que Vicwest déploie beaucoup d'énergie, des programmes pour garder ses employés? C'est très important pour vous?
I believe employees will stay with an organization they believe in. They believe in the people, they believe in the leadership, they believe in tomorrow. And obviously, you know, an organization has to treat their employees fairly and with respect. And I think if you're able to do that consistently, you're going to maintain a strong bench of players on your team. And we all know that an experienced team can help deliver very good results, especially when times get tougher.
Vous êtes certifié comme comptable en management. Est-ce que cette formation de CMA influence votre façon de diriger l'entreprise? En quoi ça sert l'entreprise et puis ses actionnaires?
I didn't start out as an accountant. I was a business graduate in marketing and spent a number of years in that facet, but understood that if you're going to move forward in an organization, if you're going to move forward in a general management type role, you have to understand the numbers. You have to be able to measure within your business. Measurements are going to drive performance. And if you can't measure, you can't manage. It's that old adage. So I found that that was the right thing to do, and I went back to school and picked up all those taxes and audit courses and got my designation, and it led to a whole other career path. But it really gave me the foundation, even today, to be able to speak in an informed manner to industry networks and really within our peer groups.
Être à la tête d'une entreprise qui sera bientôt centenaire, qu'est-ce que ça provoque chez vous? Plus de fierté ou plus d'anxiété?
Well, there's certainly anxiety as any company approaches a centenary, but it does give me, I'm very proud of where we're at and where the business has found itself today. For me, the centenary is about leaving legacy, you know, and as we continue to build for tomorrow, that's what I want to leave behind and leave a 100-year-old company is a tomorrow. But I'm very proud to be part of this organization, and you know, 100 years in Canada, that's not bad.
Sur une note plus personnelle, vous encouragez une fondation qui aide à trouver un toit, c'est le cas de le dire, pour les vétérans de la guerre qui nous reviennent au pays et qui ont besoin de maisons. Pourquoi vous vous impliquez avec cette organisation?
You know, Renos for Heroes is a organization that supports injured veteran soldiers coming back from not just what started out to be Afghanistan, but there were traumatic injuries, and these folks, they came back home and just the quality of their life was already compromised by war. And, you know, I felt an internal obligation. My grandfather was one of the first 100 volunteers in Canada for World War II. And so I've got some association with that and personally. But these folks they're suffering. And I feel that we owe them a debt not only of gratitude, but Vicwest is proud to be able to sponsor and support Renos for Heroes and has for a number of years, and I sit on their board and happily do so.
Monsieur le Président, on a parlé d'économie circulaire, de changement climatique, mais en fait, vous avez un objectif très ambitieux qui s'appelle le net zéro, et vous l'avez atteint en 2020. Pourquoi poursuivre ces objectifs de carboneutralité?
We have a formal corporate social responsibility program that is named Planet Passionate. In 2020, we achieved net zero status in all our plants here in Canada. It's a good achievement, but it's not nearly enough. So we've got a very ambitious program over the next 10 years that's really built on 4 key verticals. That's on energy, carbon, circularity, and on water. If we talk about energy, you know, obviously we want to maintain our net zero status over the course of that time, but it's also our goal to convert to 60% direct renewable energy by 2030. We're looking to get 20% on-site positive generation of renewable energy by 2030 in each plant. And plus, we're going to install PV solar fields on every plant that we own here in Canada. So there's a big commitment, a big financial commitment to that program. If we look at carbon, we also have a goal of reducing our carbon footprint by 60% by 2030. We're looking to reduce our CO2, our product CO2 intensity from our key suppliers by 50% over the same time period. All our company vehicles will move from combustible to electric over the course of the next 10 years. That's our commitment to carbon reduction. In terms of circularity, you know, it's a commitment to zero waste to landfill in 10 years. And in terms of water, we've got a rainwater harvesting program with the goal of generating on-site water generation through rainwater for each of our facilities, and any additional water harvested will go free to our communities, which is generally to the agricultural community.
La majorité des manufacturiers ne pensent pas comme vous. Ils attendent les décisions des gouvernements d'être forcés à changer, à s'améliorer du point de vue environnemental, du point de vue social. Pourquoi, Vicwest, vous avez cette énergie interne d'aller vite, d'aller même plus vite que les exigences du gouvernement?
I think it's important to lead. And it's the right thing to do, as I spoke about, in terms of legacy and what you leave behind and what is your mission. Where do you see yourselves? And by the way, from a business perspective, the future will be coming to us. The future companies are going to be looking for partners that are passionate about sustainability, that meet certain standards, that are leading the way. Those are the partners they're going to want to deal with. And we expect that's actually going to lead to more business down the road and the right type of business that we want to be part of. That's building for tomorrow.
J'étais aujourd'hui avec M. Paul Lobb qui nous recevait dans ses bureaux de Victoriaville à Vicwest. On a senti tout le long de l'entrevue que le judoka n'est jamais loin. Il travaille avec les autres, avec beaucoup de mouvements. Mais je pense qu'il aurait pu faire du karaté parce qu'il est capable de passer à l'attaque. Alors, merci beaucoup, M. Lobb, pour cet entretien.
Merci.